Need somebody to say no, is that it?
We just need someone to say anything.
I don't even have a pen, walked out of the house.
Need a pen, Matt?
Yeah, please. Couldn't put much in my pocket, these athletic shorts, put too much weight in them, I'll come down there and they'll be at the floor.
Well, whenever you're ready, Mr. Fleming.
Oh, in that case, we will go ahead and call to order this meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment at 6:15 this June 15th, 2022. Were there any remarks from visitors today?
No, sir. Everyone here is for the item.
So we will move on to item number 3, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding variance applications submitted by Marcella Graciano for the property located at 912 West Virginia Street, Navasota, Grimes County, Texas. The variance application requests a variance from the 25-foot setback requirements outlined in Article 9R-3 High Density Multi-Dwelling Unit Residential District for the construction of a carport 5-foot setback from the property line, a 20-foot encroachment. This property is legally described as Felder S 8000-Roberts, Block 3, Lot 14.
Open the public hearing at 6:16. Mr. Chairman, Zoning Board of Adjustment, as you briefly read through that, Mrs. Maricela Graciano has requested a variance application for the construction of a carport. The location where the property is located, the ordinance says any structure has to be 25 feet away from the front property line. Just a bit of background, and I don't know if any of you guys drove by the site. The carport is already there. It's already constructed. So we've been working with Ms. Graciano for the last few weeks on this. Initially, we opened up a code enforcement case. It went through the process, went through the municipal judge. She gave a deferment of action on that until she was able to go through the process and ask for that variance. So she's been very easy to work with. She's kept us in the loop the whole time. Initially, she just didn't know that a permit was required for something detached. So we informed her of all the requirements, and as mentioned, she went through the process, and municipal judge gave her the opportunity to apply for the variance to see if this is something that could be approved. And so the carport where it sits now, it's 5 feet setback from the property line versus the 25-foot required. And just for a little bit of history, the Board of Adjustment did issue a variance on this same street roughly a year and a half ago for a very similar carport, also 5 feet from the property line. And so Ms. Graciano is here. I can help her translate if there's anything that's missed, if you'll have any questions.
One question right out the gate real quick. You said this is a detached carport?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right up to the house, but not actually attached.
I make a motion to grant her the variance.
That'll be the next item.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
jumping ahead.
Yep. We don't know that. I'm not, and haven't dwelled that into the details. I think it was somebody she knows that helped her out. Yeah. You'd be curious to know if it was the same one, though. It'd be interesting.
Well, just so we can educate them. So this, because of last order,
Right. Yes, sir.
Maybe one in process right now. We may need to-
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
I do.
I think we're ready to move on to item number 4. In that case, we will now have discussion and consideration and possible action on order number 3-2022, approving a variance application submitted by Maricela Graciano for the property located at 912 West Virginia Street, Navasota, Texas. The variance application requests a variance from the 25 feet front setback requirements outlined in Article 9, high density multi-dwelling unit, residential district for the construction of a carport, 5 feet setback from the front property line, a 20-foot encroachment. This property is affected is legally described as Felder S 8000 Roberts Block 3, Lot 14. As we've already approved one on this same street, I think it's pretty safe what we need to do here. So,
I make a motion to approve the variance.
and I will second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yes. Yep. Marisela, muchas gracias. Aprobaron la aplicación. Ya luego le informo y le mando la copia del orden, pero sí la aprobaron. Sí, sí lo aprobaron. Si gusta quedarse para toda la junta, puede, y si no, como guste. Ya aprobaron. Ok. One moment.
Go ahead.
I can't understand you, Loopy.
Sí, ya está todo bien, yo le mando la copia. Sí, 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 muchas gracias.
Muy
Y ya
grande.
luego voy y levanto mi sign.
Muy grande.
All right, so now we'll move on to item number 5. We're going to conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding a variance application submitted by the Sweet Root Building Services LLC for the properties located at 702 North McNair Street, Navasota. The variance application requests a variance from the 20 feet street side setback requirements and 7 feet side setback requirements described in Article 5 R1A, high density single dwelling unit, 7,000 square foot lot, residential district for the construction of single family homes. 5-foot setback requirement, setback from the side property lines, a 15-foot and 2-foot encroachments. The property affected is legally described as McNair Block 26, lots 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to open this public hearing at 6:23.
Mr. Chairman, Zoning Board of Adjustment. So just to note, the applicant for this variance is not here tonight. They got a hold of me shortly before the meeting. They let me know that someone in their household has COVID, and so they're quarantining, so they can't be here. But just to briefly summarize their application, their intention is to build 4 single-family homes. The property that they purchased is along McNair Street. The CAD has it as one giant parcel, but there's actually 4 individual lots there, part of the original McNair block subdivision, block 26. The side setbacks for that area are 7 feet on each side and 20 feet when you're on a corner. So one of the 4 lots it is on a corner. And so what they're requesting is, instead of 7 feet between each property line, they want 5. And then on the side of the side street where you would typically be 20, they also want 5. There's quite a bit of right of way through this area. So even if it's 5 feet from the actual property line, it'll still be well over 25 feet from the edge of pavement. This area of town has really wide right of ways. And so visually there won't be much of an impact. I think it's going to be an improvement to the area. There used to be manufactured homes on these properties. Those were cleared. And now these will be, fairly good sized homes, anywhere from 15 to 1,600 square feet. In your staff report, they provided a layout and an example of one of the floor plans they'll be working with. There's also a survey, so you can kind of get a visual on what 5 feet looks like, especially from that Stacy Street where Stacy and McNair make that corner.
So to make sure I'm understanding this properly, with the variance they're requesting a variance from the 7-foot side setback requirements for all 4 properties.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, but that will still leave effectively 10 foot between the 2 buildings.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And based on these pictures, this property is completely vacant right now. There's nothing on it.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, there used to be structures there, but again, they were removed, and so right now it is vacant.
What's the setback that they want in the back of the house?
So the setbacks, they are 25 in the front and 20 in the rear, and they want to keep those the same. So they will be 20 feet off that rear property line and 25 from the front. It's just the sides that they're trying to fit some fairly good sized homes, and I think those lots are about 55 to 60 foot wide, I believe. Yeah, they're 50 footers. So trying to make best use of that land. We did reach out to neighboring property owners. I didn't get any feedback in writing. I did get a call shortly after the letters went out. It was really just more informative. They wanted to make sure that they thought someone was building something on their property. So I said, no, this is just notification. And so they didn't say whether they were in favor or opposed to it. They just wanted to know what was going on. But aside from that, I haven't received any other feedback or communication.
Do you know how many letters you sent out?
Yes, so we sent out a total of 64 letters, and that's 500 feet radius. State law only requires 200 feet. However, we go a little bit further than that. We do 500. And so we also did an ad in the paper. It was published on the June 1st edition of the Examiner. And then there was also a sign placed on the property. So if you're driving by, it says public hearing on X date and time.
This is an occurrence that comes up quite a bit with the variance committee, because Navasota is so, lot sizes are so haphazard. You can live in a house where you have a sidewalk in front, the next house doesn't have a sidewalk. I'm not criticizing, but you can live on East Virginia, and the street goes down, I think, a foot, and it presents certain building problems to the homeowners. So I'm of the opinion that we should grant them, whoever comes before us with a lot that's an abnormal size, more space in the front than in the back, and on the side you have enough for a lawnmower, but on this side you can put a factory, So I think we should really give a lot of consideration, especially to the people that are buying the property or have it. It's not a renter that he can rent the property and then leave, but it's a person that's establishing roots in Navasota, and we need roots in Navasota.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things that even the comprehensive plan highlights is we want to encourage infill in existing areas of town where there's already infrastructure, roadway, and utilities. And so I think, currently the property is not very productive. but with 4 homes there, that's, 4 more families in Navasota. And so I mean, from staff's perspective, we think it wouldn't be a negative impact at all. It'd be an improvement.
Yeah,
Especially getting the manufactured house.
Yeah.
That will
Yep.
deteriorate
Mhm.
to something that's fixed.
Yep.
People are gonna be more proud.
Right.
So I do want to touch back on, you mentioned that there's some pretty big right of ways. So we will actually still have plenty of space from the side of these buildings to the street. We don't have to worry about obstructing view at this corner here.
Yeah, correct. So I have the survey pulled up behind us here. And so here is that corner. So there's 4 lots. Here's 2 and there's another 2 this way. So 5 foot, 5 foot, but the right of way is actually 80 feet.
Okay.
Stacy Street
Gotcha.
right of way is 80 feet, even though the pavement width is probably only 18 to 19 feet, maybe 20. And so if you measure from the center point of that 20-foot pavement to the property line, that's going to be 40 feet plus another 45 feet. So there's a lot of distance between the edge of the home and the middle of the street. And I mean, ultimately, they probably will do a fence along this side. But even then, the fence is still
I mean, that's still a good 30 feet to the street.
to the beginning of the pavement, correct?
Okay, that answers that question.
do we have any pictures of what they plan, the elevations and what the houses are gonna look like?
So they did provide a floor plan.
Well, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't think they have an elevation, but just judging from the floor plan, I think it's going to be very comparable to what's around there. There's a few hardy plank homes around there. There's some brick homes too, so I think it'll be somewhere in that realm.
Pretty neat of those.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 2-story.
I'm interested.
That's a good question. I think it's let's see.
I'm just surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't reached out to that property owner to see if they're willing to sell. Let's see. Yeah, see, there's still some manufactured homes across the street here along, what is that road? Schumacher. But that lot is owned by Ethelyn Cade. Lake City, Florida. That's their mailing address, so.
What's the name?
Ethelyn Cade.
Kate? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You know who she is, Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the last lot left. So.
She's on the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any other questions or need a little bit more time to think about it?
I don't.
In that case, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing at 6:33. So item number 6, discussion, consideration, and possible action on order number 4-2022, approving a variance application submitted by Sweet Root Building Services LLC for the properties located at 702 North McNair Street. The variance application requests a variance from the 20 feet street side setback requirements and 7 feet side setback requirements prescribed in Article 5, R-1A, high density single dwelling unit, 7,000 square foot lot residential district for the construction of single family homes, 5 feet setback from the side property lines, a 15-foot and 2-foot encroachments. The property affected is legally described as McNair Block 26, lots 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think we've kind of discussed what we want. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve it.
I second.
Motion seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved.
I will notify the applicant first thing tomorrow.
With that being done, we'll move on to item number 7, consideration of possible action on approval of the May 18th, 2022 meeting minutes as presented. I would like to move that we approve the meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the meeting minutes from May 18th, 2022, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Are we all good, Lupe?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I will adjourn the meeting at 6:35 PM.